Want to see more cool videos on our channel? We do, so press this bell and enable to send notifications.
Number 5. Largest snake gathering. Each year at the break of spring, red-sided garter snakes in Narcissa, Canada engage in an unusual ritual. Thousands of them begin emerging from their underground dens during the last week of April, and their numbers peak during the second week of May. The reason? They're all out to mate. Like all other snakes, red-sided garter snakes are cold-blooded. During the winter, when temperatures drop to below freezing, they hibernate for 8 months. Manitoba, Canada is laced with sinkholes that line its superficial limestone bedrock. Underground dens form here, attracting the snakes, who see it as an ideal spot for an 8-month snooze. But space is limited. Thousands of snakes end up in dens as large as an average living room. Once spring arrives, thousands of the red-sided garters slither over one another to emerge from their layers, forming a carpet of quivering snakes. In the huge heap of snakes, it can be tough for the males to recognize the females, even though they're longer and wider than the males. This is made even more interesting by the fact that the ratio of males to females is 10,000 to 1. The male-biased sex ratio is a result of the males pouring out of the den first and awaiting the females, who typically emerge over the course of a few weeks. Once the males are lured by a female's pheromones, several males try to court one female, rubbing their chins along her back. This is called a mating ball. The male closest to the female copulates with her, leaving a gelatinous plug inside her body that blocks her reproductive tract for about 2 days, warding off other males. Then, the female can slither away from the carpet of snakes, where she'll begin to feed and give birth later in the summer. One female can give birth to 40 to 50 young at once. However, if the female rejects the male, she can prevent his sperm from fertilizing her eggs, a mechanism called cryptic female choice. She simply waits for the smelly plug to dissolve and then mates with another male. Number 4. Largest alligator gathering. A group of 200 alligators were snapping at a Florida watering hole. The predators gathered together for a sunbathing session. The sinkhole's unique ecosystem makes for a great habitat for the alligator's prey. Predators, including bald eagles and vultures, often gather alongside the alligators, as the sinkhole's unique ecosystem makes for a great habitat for fish. The reptiles are often only seen individually or in small clusters of 3 or 4. The large gathering at the U.S. sinkhole is said to be so large, Google Earth can even pick them up. Wildlife photographer Lee Dalton caught snaps of the large group of beasts. The photographer said, "I kept my distance and put any thoughts of taking a cooling dip in the sinkhole out of my mind." On the whole, humans are too large to be considered suitable prey for your average alligator. However, on a very rare occasion, there are fatalities in Florida. Number 3. Largest shark gathering. These jaw-dropping pictures show up to 10,000 sharks viewed from above indulging in a ferocious bait ball feeding frenzy. Because of the sheer volume of fish contained in the bait ball, the different species of shark put aside their traditional rivalry for food and concentrate on one thing only: their fish dinner. This giant shoal of fish, called a bait ball, is being devoured by voracious hammerheads, tiger sharks, bull sharks, spinner sharks, and black-tipped reef sharks. The pictures show the majestic sight of a bait ball, explained Mr. Abernethy. From above, the view looks beautiful, so it's difficult to imagine what it must be like for the mass of bait fish fighting for survival. They come together in the shape of a circle as a means of defending themselves. It's very difficult for a predator to identify one individual fish out of a massive shoal like this. But if they can separate one fish from the group, the sharks are more likely to be successful. Number 2. Synchronous fireflies, Tennessee. One can find fireflies in many parts of the United States, but there are some very special ones in Tennessee. Every June, certain fireflies meet to perform their characteristic evening light show. Only instead of each one lighting up whenever it feels like it, they all light up at the same time every second or two. They're synchronized. The best-known group of synchronous fireflies is found at Elkmont, Tennessee, in Great Smoky Mountains National Park. So many tourists were coming to see them that officials now close the entrance road to Elkmont during firefly season. One gets there by taking a special shuttle from Sugarlands Visitor Center near Gatlinburg. Great Smoky Mountains National Park has at least 19 firefly species, but only one, Photinus carolinus, does the synchronized light show. In fact, it's the only species in America with that trick. Number 1. Pink flamingos, Camargue. Pink flamingos are usually thought of as being tropical birds, but one can also find them in the Camargue, southern France. In fact, it's the largest colony of pink flamingos in the western Mediterranean, with about 10,000 pairs. The Camargue is south of Arles in Provence. It includes the Rhone River Delta, plus some red salt lagoons. Those lagoons are home to the brine shrimp, which flamingos eat. It's what makes them pink. Guided tours of Camargue's flamingos are available from April through September. There was a scare in 2007 when most of the flamingos went away. The cause was a partial strike at a local salt factory. When operating normally, that factory had the side effect of pumping salty water into a lagoon where the flamingos nested. The strike stopped the pumping. No salt, no brine shrimp, no flamingos. The strike did end, and the lagoon land was sold to the French government body in charge of coastal conservation. Since then, they've made sure the lagoon has enough salt and the flamingos have returned. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, please let me know by clicking the like button. Do share, and don't forget to subscribe so that you can catch up my next video.